Hello and welcome to the Bullish Bears YouTube channel. I'm Jeremy and I want to start by thanking you for all the likes and supports. It really helps us to beat the YouTube algorithm, and we've come over a huge milestone lately and we're pushing on to that 100,000 subscriber mark, and all your support has really started to show and take effect. Thank you very kindly for that. We really appreciate it and we love you back. Moving forward, I want to get into something that's kind of been, a hot button, but I hate to go and post something that's like, just shock material to hook people into watching. I would much rather give some somber advice. And in that, I can say, first off, I'm not a financial advisor, but this market, I've lived this kind of thing before. This volatility is awesome. But you have to take a specific kind of approach to it to really take advantage of it, and not necessarily be a pessimist either. Going into this, I choose to take the contrarian approach. I am going to watch for opportunities. I'm going to patiently wait for opportunities to present themselves to me, and I'm going to try to find things that Walmart, or not Walmart, Wall Street might have missed. And that's kind of what you do. You look for opportunities that everybody else seems to be skipping over. You're into things like, if you tuned into the watch list a while back, Matthew and I got so far ahead of that nuclear blast that everybody dove into a few weeks later that we absolutely killed it. And the reason being is we still took a very easy approach into this with being the contrarian. We were looking at something that no one was looking at because we thought ahead of the game. We knew, hey, AI is huge, but it's going to take a lot of energy to power that stuff. Fast forward to now, you got tariffs coming out, and that's tomorrow. And I guess 3 o'clock is the deadline for when Trump's going to announce what exactly these tariffs are going to be. Boy, that's going to be a roller coaster ride. But it would also be awesome to catch some serious opportunities in that. You're going to see some things get volatile like no other. You might be in a situation already where you're upside down in some things, but there's going to be some opportunity. So I would probably recommend having a little bit of dry powder available to jump into some opportunities that are going to present themselves in almost a horrifyingly fast way. I know some people are a bit upside down into, Amazon shares. I took this picture a while back. This is what happens when you open your Amazon box upside down, but it really makes a statement. And if you go into, what Amazon's looking like these days, I kind of use it as a, not necessarily a market litmus, but I watch what they say and what they do. And Walmart kind of jumped on board too. That's why I screwed up the words earlier with Walmart. Walmart just announced after, about 6 weeks after Amazon announced that they were kind of warning or flashing signs of a possible recession. And I've been hearing the Chicken Little crowd cluck for a long time about the sky falling and the recession happening and, the doom and gloom that's in the market. And I think of that the same way I do when I see, so-called professional analysts out there signaling the same things. Realistically, it just provides liquidity for the big money to get out of the way. And you know where the liquidity comes from. And yes, us. So we're looking at opportunities here to kind of not necessarily try to outsmart these guys, but to ride on our coattails because we know where liquidity is. If you've looked at some of my advanced charting technique videos, you can go in and see really easy ways to spot liquidity and find out where the buyers and the sellers are. It's relative to support and resistance levels, but it's in a dynamic way. You're looking for where everybody's stops are getting swept up, and all of those are limit orders. They present themselves in a way that is pretty obvious on the chart, regardless of who is in what, and even if it's a manipulated penny stock, it all works the same. Price action is as price action does. So if you're looking at Amazon here, for instance, I mean, this trend has been pretty hot for quite a minute. And it's got to give some back when it gets parabolic. So here we are giving half this trend back. That's a natural thing. The contrarian approach would be watch here for a reversal. If things get good, it'll probably return to about the fib high, say maybe about 234. Don't mark my words, but that's pretty reasonable to get back in there and eventually form, some sort of giant consolidation like this, where it's just trading in a range at the top of a trend for a while. We've been there before. We know what to look for. And whether it breaks down at the end or up at the end, that's kind of going to remain to be seen. Yeah, sure, if there is a recession, but you're seeing, prices consolidate near the top of a trend, it'll do either this or that. But in the meantime, every doomsayer out there or every chicken little clucking about the sky falling is going to be right on the news saying, oh my God, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the housing market. Don't get me started on that. There is a whole lot of things going on in the housing market that are going to reflect very dramatically in the economy as well as the market. And just yesterday, there was some consolidation that happened. If you were watching, a company, Rocket Mortgages, picked up basically in-house loan servicing by acquiring another company, Coop. So look into that and read between the lines and see what's going on there. Then go look at Robinhood and what they plan to do in the future. You'll see there's some opportunities coming very soon. And I also think that's going to have a positive impact on what's going on with the housing market. It's just going to be a little bit painful first. But I digress. Being the contrarian, you're looking for opportunities. You're essentially filling the role of Warren Buffett, although we really don't think there's a possibility of there ever being another Warren Buffett, unless it's me. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying my hardest. But I can say that if you're kind of thinking along the lines of being similar to him, he tends to pile up cash, keep some dry powder, and if you read between his lines, he is the kind of guy who takes the same contrarian approach that we do. Just it takes a lot more time to wind into and out of the position sizes that he takes. I'm not saying it's going to be easy to ride on his coattails and have his kind of patience in the long term, but if you apply those same principles to the short term and the medium term, you're going to have some advantage there. And this is what we have. We have short-term volatility. We're going to see opportunities, and things like Amazon might become a good buy soon. Even Tesla may be a good buy soon because there's all kinds of pressure on that stock right now, but nobody realizes, or nobody really tends to focus on the simple fundamental fact that it's not just a car manufacturing company. There's so much more to Tesla that you really need to peer into before you make a decision on whether or not you want to own it. Compound that with that fact that it's in a lot of 401ks, especially in California, and you really start to realize there's something more to be seen here. There's opportunity, and when it's down, I've been known to make some pretty killer returns on Tesla when I catch the bottom and I catch the ride back to the top. I had a legendary trade for myself, netting a 2,400% return on an options position with Tesla not too long ago, and it might set up the same opportunity again. Options are a wonderful thing. They're leveraged and they can produce some serious returns, but you got to know what you're doing with them. It's not something you can just dive right into. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap with that. I'm just going to state what I have been saying for a long time now is be cautious in this market short term, but look for opportunity. There's going to be some great opportunities coming down the pipe, and I think tomorrow we're going to start to see those really stand out, and we're going to start to see some momentum come back into the market. Which direction? We don't know, but not all companies are going to be following the S&P route. Everything is seeming like it's melting down, but there's other companies that shine out and they're green and they're actually doing well in this mess. So stay tuned. We're going to bring you some stuff in the watch list format soon, and a few other things that we're going to start posting as far as watch list in our social medias as well. Keep an eye on some of the stocks that we mentioned in there. And we're going to start also putting a little bit more detail into some of our trade ideas that we come out with. We've been a little bit lax with that lately because this isn't really a swing traders market yet, but it's about to be. Stay tuned. Thanks again for joining, and we really appreciate your support again. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.